But that night, I happened to see messages from a secret group chat on his iPad.
Brant, what number are we putting on the bankruptcy contract this time?
Make it 25 million. Otherwise, that flower shop girl will pay it off all at once again. Where's the fun in that?
You're savage, Brant. Heard the flower shop girl works the flowers by day and works you by night. Never gets old, huh?
25 million, what a joke.
I put the man's iPad down and dialed my billionaire father. You just want to force me to inherit your empire and marry your golden boy? Fine, I'll marry him. Send someone to pick me up in 3 days. I hung up with my father. Brant walked in, holding a signed loan agreement.
Lena, I'm so sorry. I owe 25 million this time. I'm so useless.
His acting was really good. The confusion in his eyes looked real. Back then, it always made me say, it's okay. We'll work hard together. We'll pay it off. But now, I just stared in silence at the exposed half of the watch on his wrist. Brant wore a $60 million watch, but couldn't pay a $25 million debt. I was dead broke. I was about to go to loan sharks for him. My love for him gave him the nerve to play with me however he wanted. Seeing me keep staring at the watch on his wrist, Brant pulled me into his arms without changing his expression.
It's a fake, Lena. When I make it big, I'll buy you anything you want.
Knowing I was poor and clueless
fake?
about luxury brands,
Right.
he didn't even bother with a convincing lie. I looked away. Another text lit up the iPad hidden beside us.
Brant, what is Lena planning to sell to pay off the debt this time? Flowers, houses, or herself? A woman Brant has had his fun with must be a great lay. If she's selling herself, I'll buy the first night.
The following messages flooded the screen with various filthy words and plus ones. 3 years with Brant, I paid off 2 of his bankruptcies. First time, I sold my grandma's house. Brant held me, promising me a family. We lived in a $1,600 basement for 2 years. He came back with a $3.2 million bill. I still didn't blame him. Instead, I took out the engagement fund Mom left me and covered his mess. He got on one knee in front of me. He said using my wedding fund made him my husband. He promised to love me and treat me right forever, but his promises were lies from start to finish. Brant's attention was caught by his buzzing phone. He glanced at me. He saw I wasn't looking. He safely opened his phone and scrolled through the group messages. Quickly, his brow furrowed. His lips pressed into a thin line. His fingers tapped the screen a few times. The message he sent in the group popped up on the iPad. All of you, get lost. Just wait and watch the show. Brant put his phone down. After a long silence, he pulled me back into his arms, acting all sweet and clingy.
Lena, I swear this is the last time. Once we pay this off, I'll marry you, okay?
I looked at his earnest face. It was just hilarious. How valuable am I? An ultra-rich heir trying this hard to play me, even faking a proposal. At first, I still wanted to lay everything out. I wanted to ask him if doing this was fun. But now, I don't even have the energy to question him. I calmly pushed him away.
But Brant, I'm out of money.
Brant froze. He didn't see that coming. In his mind, I was supposed to bleed myself dry for his debt. But quickly, his face twisted in rage.
Lena, are you like the others? You think I'm a loser? Think I'll never succeed? I knew I was wrong about you!
He slammed the door and stormed out. I watched his back as he left. I knew he was using this method to force me to compromise. I didn't stop him. I took out my phone and blocked him on everything. Then I picked up the loan agreement. No lender's name, no notary seal. It was obviously fake. Yet, I fell for it twice. I laughed at myself and called the leasing agent. Hi, this is Lena Davis from the flower shop on Central Street. I'd like to sublease it. I opened the flower shop just to support Brant. Now I don't want him anymore. There is no need to keep running the shop. Besides, I was leaving anyway. The next morning,
can't keep living
I
in
packed
the
my bags
past.
at home. I looked around the cramped, dark, rented basement. Surprisingly, there was nothing worth taking with me. A birthday card from a bakery dumpster, pretty rocks from the street, a paper ring. Brant gave me these as surprises. Every time I opened them, he looked just as shocked. Looking back, he probably had his staff throw that junk together. He didn't even know what was inside. His only decent gift? A $12 necklace from a street vendor after his first successful startup. I thought he was wasting money back then. I got really mad at him, but Brant just looked at me, amused. He called me an idiot. He asked what would happen if he actually got rich later, but I was still too cheap to spend money. I thought he felt bad for me at that time. Now I see it. He truly thought I was stupid. In the packed chat history, there were exactly 800 messages just of Brant calling me an idiot. I ran all over 3 blocks for his favorite late night snack. He texted, "How can Lena be this dumb?" He was running a fever. I wrapped my only raincoat around him and half carried him to the hospital. He texted, "She's laughably stupid." Even as I lay in his arms, dreaming about our future, he still texted the group, "Lena is beyond stupid. This broke, but still dreaming of a future with me." Even through the cold text, I could picture him scoffing and mocking me as he typed that. But it doesn't matter anymore. Brant will never be in my future again. I continued packing my things. By the end, the huge suitcase was still empty. The trash can was full instead. I looked again at this home where I lived for 2 years. I saw peeling walls marked with water stains. The chair had a broken leg. The bed was built from bricks and wooden boards. When days were a bit better, I thought about decorating this home nicely. Brant refused every time. He said we wouldn't live here once we got rich. Decorating would be useless. I believed every single one of his promises. I stayed in this ruined home and stupidly waited for those promises to come true. Thinking about this, I suddenly felt it was all so pointless. I closed the suitcase. The leasing agent called.
Mrs. Davis, I don't have the final say on the flower shop sucre seat. You need to talk to the landlord in person.
At 3 p.m., I arrived on time at the agreed office building to wait for the agent. Through a slightly open door in the grand hallway, I was surprised to see Brant. He wore a well-fitted suit. He was looking down and playing with his phone. An elegantly dressed woman beside him leaned intimately on his shoulder. I recognized this woman almost at first glance. 2 days ago, the flower shop received an order for 1,000 roses. The customer specifically asked to keep the thorns, so I finished wrapping them with my hands bleeding. When I took an Uber to deliver them myself, the person receiving the flowers was this woman, Pamela Wainwright. In the center of the roses lay a small card requested by the customer. "To the love of my life, Pamela. Signed, B.C." Only at this moment did I realize with a shock, B.C. was Brant Crawford. He clearly knew I definitely wouldn't cancel this big order to make money. He purposely made these requests to watch me jump through hoops for him. Thinking of this, I nearly laughed myself to tears. After going home that day, I excitedly shared with Brant that I made big money. When he was tenderly bandaging my wounds, was he calling me stupid in his heart again? Was he laughing at me like a joke? As I wiped the tears from the corner of my eye, the leasing agent arrived. He saw me standing at the door. He asked me in confusion,
Ms. Davis, the landlord is right inside. Why aren't you going in?
Who did you say? The landlord? Brant?
The agent was confused.
Yeah. Didn't you know? Mr. Crawford owns the whole stretch of Central Street.
I looked at Brant's figure not far away. The painful memories hidden deep inside suddenly rushed into my mind. After paying off Brant's debt for the second time, I lived beyond my means for a long time. I couldn't even afford rent. 4 or 5 massive goons crowded the flower shop door to force me to pay rent. They smashed all the flowers in the shop. They even stepped on my cat, letting it scream without lifting their feet. The cat had accompanied me for 12 years. To me, it was no longer a pet. It was family, just as important as Brant. Tears streaming down my face, I fell to my knees, begging them to let it go. In 3 years of running the shop, I was pressured for rent and shaken down for protection money countless times. I never mentioned it to Brant. I didn't want to put pressure on him. But this time, I was truly terrified. I called him, crying so hard I could barely breathe. I asked him,
Brant, what should I do? Save Milo, please. Save him.
Brant knew exactly how much the cat meant to me, but he stayed silent for a long time and still just said sorry. I watched helplessly as those goons stomped my cat to death. I held him and felt him slowly turn cold and stiff in my arms. Just like when Mom died in my arms years ago, I was just as powerless. Even so, I never hated Brant. I only hated myself for being so useless. But now, the truth was right in front of me. The landlord who pressured me for rent was Brant. The person who could have saved Milo with just one word was also Brant. But he didn't save him. Milo died too. I practically gritted my teeth so I wouldn't let a sob escape my lips. I ran out of the office building. I got an Uber and told the driver to head to the airport. In the car, I called my father with trembling hands. I've lived for 27 years. Now the only person I can rely on is my father, the exact man I never wanted to acknowledge.
Dad, come pick me up right now, please. I beg you.
Brant kept his head down, his eyes glued to his chat window with me. For 2 whole days, I hadn't sent him a single message. Annoyed, he pulled out a cigarette. But he put it down, remembering I hated him smelling like smoke.
What's wrong, Brank? The flower shop girl can't pay the debt this time and doesn't want to play with you anymore?
Who says? Lena loves me so much.
She's probably running around somewhere, scraping the money together for me right now.
Just you wait. Once I give her the cold shoulder for a few days, she will definitely cough up the cash.
Just as he finished speaking, the leasing agent walked up after overhearing my name.
Lena? Mr. Crawford, you know the owner, Lena Davis? She happens to want to subset the flower shop, and I was worried you wouldn't agree.
Brant frowned. He had a feeling. The anxiety building up for days would finally get an answer today. He tried to steady his emotions, pretending to ask casually,
The flower shop is doing perfectly fine.
Why would she sublease it?
The agent flashed a polite smile.
Mrs. Davis said she's tired of running the shop and is going home to get married.
His phone hit the floor. Brant yanked the agent by the collar, looking vicious.
What did you say, get married? Who's getting married?